darking out over here and catching on fire. I'm Wrecker Rick, and you're watching Murphy's Diesel. We built this 6x6 over a period of 3 weeks. The build y'all been waiting for. The world's largest off-road 6x6 wrecker, folks, is finally here. And let me tell you, it is one wild ride. You're not going to want to miss it, so saddle up. Stand by, folks. Come on back. Looking good. Whoa! Perfect. Well, we got the old boom extended on the old pop-up P2 and we're getting ready to pull this old unit off of the world's largest 6x6 off-road trail wrecker. Because we're actually going to build a winch box out of that unit. We don't need it anymore, but we're getting close to being ready to install the tow unit on this truck. Stand by to see what tow unit we're going to put on here. When I'm driving a truck, I like to get a good workout in. Kids these days doesn't even like driving it. 1980 cab over Freightliner with a 750 Holmes on the back.
I like it until I have to back up and do a show.
We got her rigged up, folks. We're gonna pick it up and swing it over that way. Get this sucker outside. I'm gonna use these booms for another project. Let's just try cranking your boom. How about these old 750 Holmes, huh? Aren't they the coolest? Crank the boom up a little bit. There we go. Let it back down. That's better. Come on up with it. Boy, I'll tell you, this old 750 is worth its weight in gold, huh, folks? We're good. And everybody said 16 foot was too tall for the doors. Who's laughing now? We're getting the old firewall installed right here, folks. So I got 2 pieces cut out. They go right here, one over there. I got to build a little doghouse for that Chingadera. By Chingadera, I mean that C12 cat. And then we will start on the floorboard. Time is of the essence, folks. We've only got like 12 days till the off-road game. Still got to put a roll cage in here. Still got to build a dash for it. Stand by while I get the lead out of my... This video would not be possible without today's sponsor, DraftKings, folks. For all you basketball fans, there's just a few games left in the season. Now's the time to lock in your picks. Who do you think's gonna walk away with the gold, folks? Make your picks with my sponsors at DraftKings. Right now, they are offering all new customers $150 in bonus bets instantly after betting only $5. Download the DraftKings app right now, folks, and sign up using code Murphy's Diesel. The crown is yours, folks. Get out there and get you some. I don't know about you guys, but I love the thrill of live betting. DraftKings has got you covered. You can bet live on in-progress games right as they're happening. It makes the thrill of the game that much more exciting. Be sure to use code Murphy's Diesel on the DraftKings app right now. Thank you, DraftKings, for making this build possible. Now back to the video. Poncho is getting the stacks ready to go on. Yeah, this is getting dual 8-inch stacks. He's also going to be putting these rock sliders on today too. We're just tacking up the driver's side rock slider. Let me tell you, folks, that's a beefy rock slider. I don't know that we'll ever see rocks that tall. Not around here anyway. Maybe at the games, huh? We're getting some 58-inch Mickey Thompsons mounted on Indiana Holmes' brand new wheels. We just got our new wheels back from Vertex. They custom built these whole deals. They even put Murphy's Diesel right there on the rock ring. They just come from paint. We sent them out to paint. I wouldn't worry about that little guy. We didn't spray paint him with rattle cans. I mean, we sent him out to our professional paint department. Pretty good looking rims, huh folks? Well, let me tell you, they cost a pretty penny. And we got them just in time. We were cutting it close. Same folks that built HB's rims. They also built me a spare for HB too. It's around here somewhere. De Niro is struggling with getting it mounted. I probably should put this camera down and help him. These are double bead locks, folks. So this insert right here, this goes in between the beads, and then the two-piece rim bolts together. That piece and this piece and sandwiches the beads in between there. And let me tell you, they are a pain in the ass to install. At least they are for us. So they give us some all thread because the tires are so wide to line them up. You got to pull it in with all thread first, then you go through and put all the bolts in there. Sucker on down. I like to use some C-clamps to get them started because the actual all thread they send is not long enough. So. Getting a little cross training in today, folks. Driver's side tires are all mounted. 2.5 left to do. Got our rock sliders on and our stacks on. Duty calls. We got an off-road recovery. We're gonna head out there and go get them out real quick. We got to take De Niro's Toyota. Everything else is in shambles. Hellboy is almost done. Indiana Homes is not even close to being done. Well, we made it back to the shop, folks, and we started working. We got another tire done. But duty calls again. Got another off-road recovery. I got the off-road flatbed. I got my winch box that I just built loaded up with my Warrior winches installed on top of it. It's a fifth wheel and a Ford F-250, 350. Stand by. We finally made it back to the shop. We're putting the tires on Indiana Homes. Let me grab my jack, and then we're gonna get her jacked up. Stand by, folks. There we go. Now we can do all four at the same time. How rude of me. I didn't even tell you guys what we're going to rescue. We've got a Ram 1500 and this thing is buried, folks. It's buried in mud and snow. It's got 3 little kids in it. And then after that, we have a Toyota Tacoma down the road that is buried, folks.
More than 2 feet of snow to parts of the high country. Some drivers ended up stranded, venturing onto back roads, unfortunately, after following their GPS apps.
Yeah, that's why one Flagstaff man decided to drive his truck into the chaos, towing dozens of cars out. Really nice guy. Fox 10's Kenzie Beach joins us live with the story. Kenzie.
Yeah, guys, for the last year, Rick Murphy, better known as Wrecker Rick, has used his social media platform to pay it forward. This weekend alone, rescuing over 30 people in hopes that they, too, pass it on to the next person.
My name is Rick Murphy, but my subscribers know me best as Wrecker Rick.
All right, turn your wheels to the left.
2 feet of snow in slick and icy roads. With Interstate 40 forced to shut down, that's when Wrecker Rick and his crews went to work.
Well, this storm kind of came out of nowhere for us.
Drivers looking for detours quickly became stranded on back roads until Murphy came along.
He was out there 40 hours straight rescuing them.
If you get stuck, you're stranded for hours. Then on top of it, you got to worry if you're going to be able to pay your bills because the recovery bill is going to be so astronomical.
Wrecker Rick has built a social media following posting his rescues. The revenue allows him to pay it forward, pulling people out of the trenches at no cost to them.
Sometimes they cry. Sometimes they are just so grateful. They still try to give us money.
And when a driver won't take no for an answer and is insistent on paying, he uses that money, giving it to the next person in need.
It's addicting.
Wrecker Rick pulled out close to 30 cars in 40 hours during the March 8th storm in the high country, but the drivers kept coming.
Between Ashbrook and Williams, the line of traffic that was coming was just astronomical. There was probably groves of 15 to 20 cars coming up behind us as we're recovering the cars that are already stuck, and we were having to go back and tell them to turn around.
Many of them follow detours on their phone maps, something the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office and ADOT are warning drivers to avoid.
If you're not in a four-wheel drive pickup, they shouldn't be taking that road. Stay classy, folks.
Murphy Diesel is contracted by law enforcement to clear major highways, but what Wrecker Rick does on the back roads is just out of the kindness of his own heart. Now, with another winter storm on its way, Rick is ready, but says the back roads are not a better option when major highways are closed.
We made it back to the shop. Now it's time to get back to work. And I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking, where did that mega cab come from? Well, I got a video coming for y'all. You'll have to stand by. The old Icebox showed up from Icebox Performance, folks. So we're going to throw it in. It's the radiator for Indiana Homes, folks. Boy, does she look good. That was custom built to fit a 1969 6x6 off-road wrecker. The new world's largest off-road trail wrecker. And I built this myself, if y'all remember. Well, some of it. Like 2 welds. They also welded a new aluminum spout for the lid. New top mount, because the old one was really small. The new bottom mount. They cleaned all this out. They put a new core in it. They put steel sides on it. We're really going to be beating the ever-living shish kebab out of this thing. These actually don't fit in our hood, folks. They actually hang out the side of the hood. Just wait and see. It's going to be really cool. We got all the air hoses rerouted and got everything ready for this radiator to go in. It's finally going in, folks. Stand by.
Don't fit. Why? I need to grind down the edges again.
We had to cut about a 1/4 inch out of the frame rail so the radiator can fit in there because the new steel brackets are a little wider. Why cut the 1/8 inch steel out? Let's cut the frame rail out. Take some of the integrity away from it so it's not as strong. Well, I see a problem right now with the upper radiator hose. We're gonna have to change that, but not too big a deal. That thing looks slick in there, folks. We are installing our front hydraulic steering. The dual actuating ram, so I don't have to run 2 rams. We've got to mount it onto a plate because there is nothing to weld to in here, and that's where the ram's going. So stand by, folks. So we got our brackets welded on there. Now we got to weld it to the truck. Stand by. We're going to slap this old 750 tow unit on the back of Indiana Homes. We picked this unit up down by the border of Mexico. And boy, let me tell you, she is clean. I want a low center of gravity, so I'm trying to shorten this up about 12 to 14 inches. They're pretty rusted up. These collars are rusted on here. We got the bolts out of them, got the C-clips off of them. Now we're trying to pull those tubes out because we need to cut them down. I am still inside, gone. Try to get just the collar, don't hit the whole Shamila. Keep going. Keep going. Alright, you're good. Hell yeah. Now what we'll do is we'll cut this off right here and shorten that, and then we're going to shorten this whole frame. We're going to make a lowrider out of it, folks. Lowrider Home 750, the first one in history. If you want something done, you got to do it yourself. Dinero's getting the section cut out of it. We'll be putting it back together shortly, folks, so stand by. He's doing a good job too, let me tell you. I gotta load some steel on the plasma table. We are running through the steel today, folks. Getting her done. We just might make it. Looks good, boys. Good job. Good job, everybody. Now let's shut this pneumonia hole. Dinero got the top cut off. Now we just got to cut that section off, slap it back on there, and then we'll be in business, folks. And then this tow unit could go on the truck. We can start rigging it up. Dinero is getting ready to set the mast back on there. He's got it all cleaned up. Got it cut down. It's gonna be about the shortest 750 homes y'all have ever seen. World's largest off-road wrecker with the world's shortest 750 homes mast. We're building the floorboard, folks. So that's about how high it's gonna sit. Ponch is getting the exhaust done. Well, folks, we officially got a seat in Indiana Homes. It's a rocking chair. I actually just testing it out, making sure that I could hit my high beams and low beams still. Just kind of getting a feel for it. That gas pedal is going to be a little funky, having a foot way up here like that, or am I going to have to put it over here on the side? Why didn't I think this one through? It's almost like a cab over. So I think I could move the seat over though. My leg would line up a little bit better. If not, I'm going to have to put my gas pedal like right here, or I guess I could put it over here. That's not too bad. What? You don't like that?
Yeah, just put one seat in there.
And then just put a brake pedal right here on this side. Just 2-foot it, put it in the middle, and then put 2 seats on the side. So I sit in the middle and drive. What do y'all think? Should I put one seat in the middle, and then I could put 2 seats on the side, so then I could sit in the middle, and my passengers will have to sit on the outside, and then I never have to do anything because I'll be the one in the middle. Well, I'll have to drive. Pretty good view though. See that front tire right there? Boy, she's coming together, folks. Check that out, folks. Indiana Homes even has an ashtray. Remnants of a better time, folks. We'd all be sucking down some Marlboro 100 right now if we didn't know any better. I'm not really sure how to get out of this chair without falling. I did it. Come talking that trash and we'll pull your card. The boys in the hood are always hard. Stacks are on. I made some good progress on the floorboard. Firewall. Seats are going to sit right here. Steps down right here. Your feet go right here. Gas pedal, brake pedal. I got a steel cover, put a doghouse in there. And we got to pile up on the highway, folks. Duty calls. That's why I can never get anything done. Last snowstorm, I was out doing off-road recoveries. This snowstorm, the highway calls. We got a nasty one. Unfortunately, several fatalities involved. Several burns. Like the whole pile up caught on fire, folks.
Around 3:30 on Thursday afternoon, right when snow was starting to build on I-40 near Williams. Troopers say it started with a crash that blocked the freeway, then multiple cars and semis didn't brake or slow down, crashing into those first vehicles stopped in the middle of the road. The crash caused a fire which eventually spread to other vehicles and burned for over 20 hours.
It's unfortunate. I think 4 or 5 semis caught on fire, several cars. Pretty insane. So stand by. I'm gonna throw this excavator on here real quick. We're gonna need everything that's rubber tracked, folks. Got the 966 loaded up, headed out. The highway is closed. There's no traffic east or west. There's multiple pileups. My trucks are spread out all over the place trying to get to these people. I'm getting on wrong way right now. Eastbound is blocked, so I'm gonna go up westbound wrong way to get to the pileup with all the burned tractors. Stand by, folks. If you're watching Highway Through Hell right now, they'd be playing some real dramatic music and saying some real intense stuff on the radio. We've literally got 3 pileups in 3 different areas. I've never had 3 pileups at the same time. You know, I have faith in my guys. You know, we train them to be able to handle this stuff. They could handle the workload of, you know, 3 or 4 guys if they do things properly. We're pretty fast on our recoveries. All we can do is try to get her cleared up so everybody can pass through and pray for the fatalities. That's why I'm going wrong way. Eastbound is wadded up. Well, we made it, folks. Stand by. Boy, that sucker was in there. I had to give it a little push. Heavy T was winching it out. Heavy T's the only one on scene up here. He's been up here working by himself. I finally got here. We got one truck, this jackknife to get out of the way, and then the rest of them are behind us. This ain't the fatals. We gotta move this to get to where we need to go. Got guardrail all twisted up underneath it too, and it's stuck in that mud hole. I worked the fatal right here. There's 2 young girls died back in 2019. They were pinned under a semi right there. I had to lift the semi up to get them out. Poor girls, rest in peace. They were really young too. Just driving down the road, hydroplanes. Stand by, folks. I'm gonna go help Heavy T. Boy, talk about a blizzard, folks. It's colder than a well digger. Well, you gotta watch dragging it. It'll want to come downhill.
I know, I'm just gonna get out of the firefighter's way.
Heavy T, everybody.
Whoa!
Just as I suspected. This is actually a pitch right here. Trailer's trying to come over. Gonna have to run air to the trailer. We ran air to the trailer. This cold weather breaks fittings, so we actually had some broken fittings on an airline we had to fix. You don't want to know. Murphy's Law. Oh yeah, she's gonna clear. All right, folks, this one's going back to the yard. Stand by. Total carnage, folks. Just a complete traffic jam. Finally made it back in the shop. It ended up being 8 semis, 10 cars and pickups. I did work the day before. I finally got home about 9 o'clock last night, got some sleep. We're back in the shop and we've been working hard, folks. The boys got the 750 welded back together, getting ready to go back on the truck. We got it shortened down. Pretty slick, huh, folks? I'll tell you what, that is cool. I don't care who you are. Just looks like a little brick house, doesn't it? Bet y'all didn't know 750s come in a small package, huh? Pretty cool. Stand by, folks. We're gonna set it on the truck now. Got my Mini X in here. Let me tell you, this Mini X last night was the MVP. Well, Crowbar was the MVP last night. Let me tell you, Crowbar stepped up and I mean, got some stuff done. Him and Heavy T. Couple of men right there. Actually, my whole crew did a great job. JMC Excavating was on the job, so if y'all need any excavating in Williams, Arizona, give these guys a shout. But besides us, this excavator, this Mini X, was the MVP. I'll tell you what, it worked its ass off. And boy, let me tell you, it shows too. And look at that, not even a scratch on that bad Larry. One of those loads had raw eggs in it, and she is stinking up the shop. Little piece of wreckage right here. There's a truckload of these, and let me tell you, thousands of these things. And if you think a quarter is hard to pick up, see how hard that is to pick up off there? Try picking up 1,000 of them off of the freaking I-40 stretched out for a quarter mile. Stand by, folks. I mean to tell you, this little Mini X didn't even bat an eye. And this baby's girthy too. But in order to get it up on the frame, I had to take the bucket off of it to get the height I needed. I'll tell you what, folks, that unit looks like it was built for this truck. We put some fish plates on here right where the unit sits, kind of reinforce the frame a little bit. I'm not too worried about it because I got a cross member right here where it's going to be sitting. Real nice. She's coming together, folks. Stand by. I got notches cut in the cross member. That's where my control rods go to control my winches. These babies. She's getting there, folks. Me and Mark are the only ones here today. De Niro, still out on recoveries, folks. He's done like over 30 recoveries in the last 3 days. It's insane. And of course, right when we're trying to get ready for Sand Hollow, I'd love to be out there doing them in HB, the track truck, this truck, or Black Betty. Everything is torn apart right now. We went all year, not a snowstorm. Literally, the 2 weeks leading up to Sand Hollow, we've gotten bombarded with snow. Caught us with our pants down, folks. But it won't happen again, I'll tell you that. When these 2 trucks are done, they are not coming back in the shop. Well, unless I break something. I don't think I'll be prepping again for Sand Hollow next year. Just can't do it, folks. The amount of garbage we accomplished in the last 2 weeks is unreal. Still not done. Recovered a D11 dozer, check. Went to Oregon to get the radiator for Indiana Homes, check. 30 off-road recoveries in 2 days, check. Recovered 8 burnt semis and 10 cars, check. That's just me. That's not what my crew has done. My crew has done twice as much what I've done. Enough woe is me bull. Garbage! I'm getting back to work. Stand by, folks. We're gonna set this unit on here. I know what you're thinking. Wait a second. You got the bucket on there, Wrecker Rick. Well, you're right. If you notice, I've got to put it on there at a little bit of an angle to get it to go on. because it just doesn't quite lift it high enough.
You're over on this side.
It's a good thing Mrs. Wrecker Rick was on the job because she got her lined up just right.
You're good. Perfect.
This needs to be right here.
At this corner.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Not right there.
Sides.
I'm just kidding. Okay, right there.
Yeah.
Love you, babe.
Bending the roll cage for this old dog. I mean, I wouldn't do it right now for the games, but we have to have it done because the dash mounts into it. That thing slick and sharp, isn't it? I like how the 750 come out. It's not any higher than the cab. It was gonna sit like 12 inches higher than the stacks. I'm trying to keep my center of gravity down. It's got a really wide stance and low center of gravity. It'll be able to get around, folks. Got my orbital valve installed. Got my brake pedal, gas pedal. PRP seats installed. That's right, folks. PRP. One of the sponsors of today's video. Get down there and get yourself some PRP. We're putting 4-point harness in here because I want to be able to get in and out of this thing pretty quickly. I'm not showing a lot of build process because we are in crunch time mode, folks. It's literally 2 days before Sand Hollow. I'm just giving y'all a little bit of updates here and there because we are blowing and a-going. Hellboy is rolling out to the games, folks. It's going on a trailer right now. Mrs. Wrecker Rick's hauling it to the games. Stand by. Love you. Mrs. Wrecker Rick's loaded up and headed to southern Utah with HB. So I had to cut this baby out for our trans cooler because the trans cooler was actually on the old radiator. I took the tank off of the radiator, which has the trans cooler inside of it. You can see the fittings for the tranny cooler. What I'm going to do now is cap this off, cut that off, cap it off, and then this little hound dog goes right there. Bam. Tell you what, I'm a measuring son of a buck. They used to call me old Deadeye Rick. I'll put 2 ports for coolant to run through. Now we'll still have a tranny cooler for this Allison 4000 because it's going to need to be cool. It's going to get really hot. It's the night before off-road games. Well, night before we leave to the off-road games. We're getting her. Here's the tranny cooler lines. Look at the size of these things. Got the hood on it. Heavy teeth. Got the hydraulic steering done. Diesel boots.
I don't want to talk about it. You see what I'm dealing with in there?
Diesel Boots is doing the wiring. He's not camera ready at the moment. De Niro wrapped this exhaust.
That's got it.
And he put the clamp in the wrong spot.
Well, that's where Mark told me to put it.
Alright.
Poncho did the other side, I think, and look at how that looks.
Look how nice and clean it looks. Good job, Punch. We're stringing some Bailey synthetic line on here. I wouldn't worry about that little guy. To string the booms up. Boy, this synthetic line's seen some better days, huh? It'll work till we break it and then we'll replace it. That'll probably make quite the ruckus when it breaks, huh?
I'll be there. Cheering.
Yeah, you'll be there not driving.
I'll never drive. I'm just gonna drive it when you're not around.
You won't have the code.
The code?
I'm putting a code lock right here on the door. Only I know the code, so nobody can drive it. Got my steering column in there. which is an orbital valve. Pretty slick. Diesel Boots is putting the wiring harness in. And Punch won Employee of the Month.
Nice.
Here you go, Punch. Huh. Ungrateful, huh?
Never made the connection.
I'm grateful.
It seems like you're ungrateful.
I don't know what those boys did with all these other deals.
What? To hold them in?
Yeah, they had these two.
Weld them.
Yeah, you got it.
Just get some silicone.
What do you mean? There's enough silicone left on this truck for the next 20 years.
We didn't learn our lesson with HB, so
No, we did not.
we're putting a fully electronic C12 in this baby. It's just kind of the way I roll. They used to call me Electronic Rick. You think this will fit on the slide axle with HB?
Both of these?
Might be a little.
Might be a lot of heavy. What do y'all think this weighs?
Twice as much as Hellboy.
Folks, comment below what you think this truck weighs. We're going to do a little giveaway for y'all. Whoever's the closest first gets a care package from Murphy's Diesel. And let me tell you, it's going to be real nice.
How much does Hellboy weigh?
It's right around 15 now. I'll bet you this is 25. What do you think it weighs, De Niro?
29,431.
You think that much?
How much do you think this weighs? How much do one of these weigh?
We figured it weighed 13,000.
Almost as heavy as Hellboy just said.
No, it doesn't have the bed on it though. Oh, it's got the booms and the brace. And then plus we cut 12 inches out of it. 12 inches weighs a lot. I know from experience. We've taken so much weight off of it and we've added so much weight. Does it seem any smoother with synthetic rope?
Yeah.
It does?
Oh, yeah.
That's smooth. Can you do that with a load on it?
Depends on how big the load is.
Have to get a bigger handle. The first 750 Holmes with synthetic winch line on it.
Swing me back! Take it! Motherfucker, swing me back! Hurry up! It's so
Obviously it swings really smooth.
Yeah, and he cranked him up at the same time.
I think it's safe to say that that actually swings a lot better than it used to. Well, it's that time, folks. We are getting our KC highlights installed. I got one mocked up. I think it looks pretty good. Boy, I'll tell you what, those are gonna look real nice. Stand by, folks. We're gonna slap some KC highlights on this baby. We got a lot of them, so. Down to the wire and I can't find a hydraulic tank, so we're just gonna have to make do with this propane tank. I don't want to cut one out on the plasma table. I don't have time to weld up the tank, and so I'm gonna use this baby right here. Stole it off of Clem's RV up there, so stand by. Hopefully he doesn't get too cold in the middle of the night tonight. Well, I mean, it is the middle of the night, so. You ever wonder what's inside of a propane tank? It's a little float jobby right here. Closes it off when it gets full. Sometimes this gets stuck. Your tank's full and you can't get any propane out of it. It's because it's stuck. Bang it on the ground, it falls down. Lets it out. Pretty cool. Stand by, folks. I'm gonna get this hydraulic tank made. Make sure there isn't no residual gas in there before we go to welding on it. All of a sudden, lights out. I kill us all. I'm satisfied.
Hey vlog. First day in Sand Hollow. Pops isn't here. Apparently they stayed up till 4 o'clock in the morning finishing the 6x6. We're gonna go set up the vendor booth. Nikki's making pancakes. And it's gonna be a good day. Isn't that right, Mad Dog?
Hi, Dad.
So the load wasn't salvageable? It's ruined?
The shop is pretty quiet. We went home about 4:30, 5 o'clock. I called it a night. The boys would have stayed and pulled an all-nighter, but I figured they better go home and get a couple hours worth of sleep and at least take a shower and clean up. You'd be surprised what an hour of sleep will do with a shower. We've come a long ways in just a few short days. I'm very proud of my crew and what they've been able to accomplish in these few short days. All of them work nights, weekends, without even asking them to. But we still have a long ways to go if we're going to make it to the games. Stand by, folks. We're getting back to the grind. Well, folks, got our Warrior winch stuffed in the front of this bad Larry. Looks real sharp in there, if you ask me. Now, this just goes to show you can get any type of Warrior winch. This is a 24-volt Warrior winch because this truck is ran off of 24 volts. They make something for everybody, folks. Just center it about like that. I'll cut some cross pieces. You like that? Yeah. Got our Yankum Fair lead finally going on. Even Indiana Holmes gets a Yankum Fair lead. James is getting some air lines hooked up. De Niro is getting the coolant lines ran to the transcooler. OG Wrecker Rick stopped by to see how the build's going. Just finishing electrical up and everything. Getting ready to start it. Hopefully about another hour. That's my hydraulic for my hydraulic steering. That's Rotella. All right, drain it. Put 1540 in it.
It's engine oil in the train?
Yeah, 1540. Yeah, the military runs all 1540 and everything.
That's so they don't have to figure out, oh, this goes in there and that.
He said diffs, he said everything. He said they changed the clutch backs out in the tranny to run 1540 and everything. He said so they have one oil. Here's a little fun fact for you. The MTVRs, Allison 4000 trannies, actually don't run ATF. They run 1540. That's a military Allison 4000 tranny in there. We just topped her off with ATF, folks. I got to looking at the bucket here after one of my colleagues, old Michael, said, hey, they run 1540 and everything. Sure enough, sucker's got 1540 Rotella in it. You know how 1540 Rotella has that distinctive smell. Look at.
Merch trailer set up. Anything you'd like to say?
I miss my husband.
I miss my husband.
I miss my husband. I do.
Dad, we miss you. It's not the same without you.
I cut these out, but I didn't drill the holes big enough. I made them for diesel boots to hold the gauges in the switches to the roll cage for the dash. We're throwing some fuel in it. Getting her topped off with some premium diesel, folks. And we put the orbital valve in the wrong spot. I don't have a lot of leg room, so when the door's closed, my knee is right here. The steering wheel hits it. It needs to be up here more. I'm having to build my own steering wheel, and it's gonna have to be about that big. But that's okay, because I got a suicide knob, so I can really get after it. You're gonna wanna stick around and check that out. Tack those on there. You like it?
Looks like it's a toy car.
Looks like a steering wheel to me. You want me to build you one for your Dodge? Get your little airbag delete.
Face delete.
We're topping the coolant off and we're about to run power to it, folks, for the first time. Diesel Boots is scared. He did all the wiring. Well, your job depends on it, so.
Sounds great. You ready?
Yeah. Key works.
Try bumping it?
Bumping her over.
No.
Nope. Is it in neutral?
Didn't light up.
No power going to the TCM probably. I would check the TCM stuff. See if we got something unplugged right there. We're not getting power to the TCM. We got a ground hooked to power. Whoa! Mark! You gotta get arcing out over here and catching on fire. So that's your constant power. Gotta be. Gotta have something hooked up.
The fast one didn't even come on either.
The fast?
Yeah, the pump.
Well, I think you gotta turn that little deal on. I don't remember how, but. The problem was we weren't getting power to our TCM because we had a ground hooked to positive, positive hooked to ground, because all the wires are the same color. We had part of these grounds on the positive and part of these positives on the ground because all the wires are black except for this one red wire. What we really need to do is see if we can't get this fast pump working. That's an inverter, folks. This truck is 24 volt. To run this fast system, you need 12 volt. So that was the problem we were having. We didn't have the inverter on. Simple as that.
Okay. I love the way you treat me. Do I have to go back out there? I don't want to go back there.
Everybody hates you here. I don't know why.
Hell yeah, thank you, sir.
Here we go. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby doll. Come on. Don't be like that. Come on.
Fuel everywhere? Yeah, fucking just a plug.
Well, folks, I just had to find the right starting tool. All right, folks, round two.
Power on.
Power on. Boy, she purrs like a kitten, folks. Oh yeah. So easy. That's my remote oil filter system leaking. I'll just have to take it off. How about some Charlie Daniels? I'm still inside on in my mind. Got a new shipment of Warrior winches, folks, just in time.
What it is, if it's the same as that one before.
Alright, bring it over this way. Okay, come down a little. All right, boom over that way. All right, down. Not as pretty as I'd like to have done it, folks, but hey, we got her done. You know what you're thinking? Wrecker Rick, that's an awfully big drag winch, but I'll tell you what, we didn't have time to put spades on this. This truck is getting spades. Drop into the ground so it can really do some hard pulling. That looks bad, huh? Applebee's has rats in their Cobb salad.
All that guy does is talk dirty to me.
Who's that? Does it look better? That's square, right? It's midnight, folks. The games start in 8 hours. We got about a 6-hour drive, so we're throwing this thing on the trailer and we're headed to Sand Hollow. Stand by. It's been a long night. We made it to Sand Hollow. I'm losing my voice because I've been up for so long, but I did get a shower. We're headed to the games. Stay classy, folks.